Winter preparation, preventative measures for working in the cold. Exposure limits for working in the cold. This table provides information on suggested work-to-rest ratios with respect to working in the cold when wind is present. At -26 to -28 with no wind, the workday would not be altered. As the temperature drops towards -30 degrees Celsius, the work-rest schedule begins to change, with the worker being able to work in the cold for 75 minutes with 2 breaks provided within that 75 minutes, and then this alteration continues for the rest of the workday. As the temperature nears -43 degrees Celsius, a person should not be working unless it is an emergency. To implement preventative measures, you must first understand the exposure limits. Employers need to ensure that their workers are safe from hazards of working in cold conditions, since the cold decreases efficiency of workers, decreases mental capacity, increases the number of accidents on the job site. The following are controls that can be implemented to protect workers. Education is important. Workers and supervisors should be informed about the symptoms of adverse health effects of cold exposure, proper clothing habits, safe work practices, emergency procedures in case of a cold injury. Another control is acclimatization, that is making sure that workers are acclimatized. This should occur in stages. It is actually easier for the body to adapt working in warm temperatures compared to working in the cold. Acclimatization should occur over a period of 7 to 10 days. It takes about 14 days to fully acclimatize. A physically fit and younger person will acclimatize more quickly. Other possible controls include: provide heat warming shelters, self-paced working to reduce heavy sweating, ensure rest periods are in a warm setting, using threshold limit values, TLVs, warm-up schedule. Change clothes to dry ones often. Ensure workers have proper protective clothing. Surveillance and monitoring. Every workplace where temperature may fall below 16 degrees Celsius should have a suitable thermometer to monitor any further temperature changes. For workplaces with temperatures below the freezing point, the temperature should be monitored at least every 4 hours. For indoor workplaces, whenever the rate of air movement exceeds 2 meters per second, 5 miles per hour, temperature should be recorded every 4 hours. In outdoor workplaces with air temperature below the freezing point, -1 degree Celsius, both air temperature and wind speed should be recorded. If workers are outside below the freezing point and you notice that there's a noticeable decrease in temperature drop, then adjust the work-rest schedule and continue to monitor the wind chill during the day. Engineering controls. Provide radiant heaters that can be used to warm the workers. Shield work areas from drafts and wind. Use insulating materials on equipment handles when temperature drops below -1 degree Celsius. Wind barriers have been found to be effective outdoors or in freezer rooms to control circulated air. Design equipment, so gloves and mittens do not need to be removed when you operate equipment. Design workplaces so operators are not required to sit or stand for long periods of time to ensure workers can move as much as possible to keep blood circulating. Safe work practices. Change out of your wet clothes and footwear as soon as you can. Do not touch cold objects or your bare hands. Always wear gloves or protective gear. People who are taking certain medications, are older, overweight, have allergies, smoke, or have poor blood flow, are more prone to cold injuries. So extra precaution for these people may be required. Try not to drink alcohol when you are going to be in the cold. Avoid getting clothing or gloves wet with any liquid, such as gasoline, cleaning fluids, due to the evaporation effect. As it evaporates, your sweat is going through the glove, and will experience the effects of the cold faster. For work below -25 degrees Celsius, follow the work warm-up schedule, Take into account wind speed and air temperature. Always work in a buddy system, if you must work outdoors in cold conditions. Try to work in pairs to keep an eye on each other and watch for signs of cold stress. Avoid using vibrating tools. Wear UV-protected eyewear, snow glare. Drink plenty of liquids, avoiding caffeine and alcohol. Heavy work should be scheduled during the warmer parts of the day, such as between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Take breaks out of the cold. For additional information, visit www.hocow.on.ca.